Hello and welcome to the life and suffering of Sir Brante, and this is a narrative-driven hardcore RPG, and if you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. This is not sponsored in any way, however, I did receive a game key. Alright, so I have not played this game before because I literally wanted to experience it for the first time alongside you, so let's start a new game and see what's going on here. Enter your character's name. Okay. Oh, this is actually kind of a cool opportunity for alliteration. So I'm gonna go for Bruce. Choose your name. Oh dear, it says choose your name carefully. Other characters will address you exactly like this. Okay, yes, that's perfectly fine. Chapter restart. Okay, I might. You know what? Should I go for Iron Man? You will not be able to go back to the previous chapters and change your decisions. You will live the character's life from start to finish and endure all mistakes and misfortunes. Let's play with that. And what is this? Consequences. You will see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. This is the recommended game mode, as you will be able to direct the character's fate in the way you want. You know what? I'm actually kind of intrigued to see what kind of choices we have, so I'm going to leave that open because we're already playing with the ability not to restart, so we have no idea what the well, we know what the consequences are going to be, but we don't know what will happen as time goes on, so chapter restarts should be quite fun to have disabled, so let's start. You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you.
The story of my life remains written on these pages. But my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
So, Chapter 1. At the end of time. Your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing grows ragged, your hands are shaking, yet the words begin appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you, and how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Archnean Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Archnean, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is naught but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood. High ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle, and faces, so many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step, you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here to the end of your time. And every choice has a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory, the pain and joy inexorably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life. Of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate, or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? And now we get to decide exactly what option we want to pick. So, the man himself, the world around him, a higher power, or there is no destiny? Alright, so it very much depends, actually. I mean, from my perspective, from my personal opinion here, it very much depends on who you are and what you are born into, what you're able to do. But that's the point. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you might be able to make your own. So I'm going to say the man himself. You can hear death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Bruce Brante will live once more. And it looks as though we're going to be starting with childhood. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? In the chapters of childhood, adolescence, and youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and relationships. By the end of the prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Bruce Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Alright, so now we have the opportunity to select a bunch of options here. So, events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. Okay, we're not actually choosing that. So, the fencing lesson, beyond, as a small child, you suffer your first death and your first death and rebirth. You experience an insight when your mother tells you about the ways of the world. Okay, sure. I'm kind of happy to try this out. Your personal qualities at this age, they determine which choices you may take. Okay, so how many points do we even have to spend here? Because I'm actually not entirely sure. Can I select? No, it doesn't seem like I can actually change this. So we have 0 so far. Can I actually change this? No, it doesn't seem like it. No. Okay, yeah. Your inner strength and the number of lesser deaths that you have experienced. These qualities will stay with you for your entire life. Okay, we've got some willpower. We've got some willpower right now, a little bit at least. The sections that open in this chapter: Destiny, Personality, House of Brante, and the Family screen. Alright, let's begin the chapter. I'm very eager to see where this goes. I'm intrigued. At first, there was nothing. No time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory: you are lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands toward you. There are 2 of them, the ones who made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united. Yet, as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and emphatic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never-ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft, open palm, a strong, closed fist, a lingering, distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Alright, so we now get the opportunity to choose. Where do we want to reach out to? Do we want to reach out to the palm, which gives us +1 perception? Do we want to reach out to the fist, which gives us +1 determination? Or do we want to smile at the shadow? I kind of want to smile at the shadow because I think that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to do that. Your first smile appears on your face, awkward yet genuine. Your mother and father exchange looks and start talking. You know no words yet, so all you hear is a sequence of booming sounds. But the stranger behind them has no need for words. The stranger's look is all it takes for you to feel the will to live and act that now burns within you. The shadow brings a finger to its lips as if to say, "There, baby, don't cry. This is our secret now." And then the shadow melts into the light. Ooh, I'm actually, wow, okay. That kind of gave me goosebumps just now. I don't know whether it's because I'm playing this like in the pure darkness, because I'm literally surrounded by darkness right now. I have no lights on or anything, but that was actually really cool. That was a cool moment. All right, your life in this world begins. How will you live it? Okay. Whew. Okay. As I say, that kind of gave me goosebumps. Okay, so now we are in childhood. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong, cold hands. He visits you rarely. "Hello there, little Bruce Brante." Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. "My, you're growing so quickly, my child." There are 2 more children in the family named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh, look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge because you were born a commoner. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Bruce, let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright, it hurts to look at it. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How's he going to play? Then you hide him and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they are talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other, then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason, and then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? And now we have three options. Cry loudly, find your way home, or sit there and wait. Alright, so we have the ability to gain willpower, determination, or perception once again. So you can see the consequences. Obviously, if you were to hide these, then you would have no idea what you're going to gain. So if you want to be a little bit more gameplay focused and a little bit less, just playing the game for the sake of playing the game and, finding your own way through it, then obviously you can disable those if you so desire. I personally have no idea what any of these statistics actually mean at the moment, so it doesn't really matter to me, but personally I'm just going to go with what I think, regardless of what kind of statistic it's going to give me. So I'm going to find our way home. Let's try that. You get up on your feet, swaying a little bit. Carefully, you take a first step, then lose your balance and plop down on the ground again. But you are determined. You get up again and keep walking in the direction Gloria went. You walk out of the bushes and further toward the wall of the house, and then the most tender and gentle hands in the whole world embrace you and pick you up. Mother has found you. There you are. You lean on Mother's chest and hold onto her with your arms. You want her to know that you came here all by yourself, without any help. She pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan is staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. We're still spineless, unfortunately, but still, we're still literally just a young child, so I think that it's fine that they're spineless a little bit, right? Alright, another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the great descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs. Even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the great descent, everyone must be where they belong." It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. "When the twins come down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them, 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand. Guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere." You are transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze, and a smile creeps across her face. "You like the rhyme, don't you, Bruce? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar any time, from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are low-born. Mom is a commoner too, so the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard, understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody." Gloria stares at you intently. "Did you get it, silly?" Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerge 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder, the other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. "Know your lot and know the prayer." You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? So we can sing the song properly and finish it, join your sister and finish the song the same way you heard it, or we can shout words of our own instead of the last line of the song. Okay, so obviously this is basically a case of, well, I actually am unsure what to really make of this, because on the one hand, I personally would like to go against the, shall we say, quote-unquote doctrine that is currently being sort of prophesied here to the entire society. Obviously, I'd like to try and go a little bit against that, because I personally, as I said at the very start here, you know, with the first choice that we made, where a man or a person, shall we say, makes their own destiny. Do you not think that? I mean, sometimes, obviously, it's impossible, or shall we say, improbable for that to happen due to certain circumstances, obviously, but I'd like to think that it is possible for destiny to be changed dependent on one's actions, but who knows? Maybe that is not possible sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to sing the last line wrong because I think that's going to be more fun to see what happens. Know your lot and know the prayer. The lots are lies told everywhere. You shout these words, but you have no idea how they came to you. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Now Gloria is staring at you. You see disappointment in her eyes. Bruce, that's not the way the song ends. Why did you ruin it? Oh, now I feel bad, actually. You shrug, quite pleased with your cleverness. To be fair, I am actually pretty happy with the rhyme that we came up with. And I mean, to be honest, I mean, we are 2 years old. I wouldn't expect a 2-year-old to literally, you know, sing the song accurately. And I think it was actually quite clever, to be honest, what he came up with. But all right, let's continue. We are now age 3. You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service, but your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner, but father says you may yet come unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again, you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stefan now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be. A boy or a girl, you will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard, and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword, but first you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Bruce? You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot, and the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. Alright, so we actually unlocked this. Did we? Yes, I think yes, we actually unlocked this because we have willpower greater than 0, as you can see right there. So greater or equal to 0, it is 10. So obviously we can do that if we want to. That's going to reduce our willpower by 5, which is obviously not great. It is going to increase our relation with Stefan. It's going to increase it by 1, and also Lydia is grateful. I'm not sure if she's going to increase or decrease or anything like that. I mean, generally, I could just deny our guilt. I mean, if I want to go for determination super hardcore, I don't really want to do that. Demand an explanation. You demand that Mother explain why things are like this. That might actually be something kind of interesting to do. Yeah, I'm going to actually demand an explanation. You start asking questions. Why were you born a commoner if your father is a noble? If you have your father's name, why can't you have his lot? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't like the one you have? Mother is stunned by all the questions you are peppering her with. Don't you dare ask me about that, Bruce. I'll violate my lot if I start explaining it all to you. I'm a commoner, not a priest. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. Tears keep rolling down your cheeks. It feels like the punishment will never end. It hurts to walk when you are finally let go. You slowly climb the stairs and walk to your room. You see a book on your bed. The Teachings of Isatius, Volume 2. Your tears have dried now. You begin to read, slowly making your way through the difficult words. Every death of the body bringeth the soul ever closer to the twins' judgment, and when the body dieth a true death, the soul soareth to the shining pillar. The twin gods do judge every soul, and their judgment is stern and unforgiving. He who followeth his lot in life from birth shall melt in bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. The words confuse and elude you, instilling fear and awe. You will read this mysterious book again and again as you grow up. Gloria's Rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day, she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey, Bruce, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. Mother says the twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run. But there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You're absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny, and I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble, but that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to this scene, unsure of how to act. Alright, so if I had more perception, I would have been able to write rhymes with her, which is actually something would have been really cool, in my opinion. Complain about your sister? What? You complain to Mother about how Gloria often leaves you alone? No way, I'm not going to do that, thank you very much. I'm actually going to comfort our sister, in my opinion. I actually would have liked to have selected this one, but unfortunately, because of my perception value at the moment, I'm not able to do that. But I'm going to say, we're going to comfort her. If I leave the room, what do I get? Nothing. Oh no, I get willpower plus 10. That's actually pretty useful, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to comfort our sister. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You walk up to your crying sister and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault, you say. What Mother did is wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking. But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me, really? You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you. Bruce, you're the best little brother in the world. The two of you make a little deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets always. And there we go. She's now grateful to us, and that's actually really nice. Her position in the family is precarious, apparently. Robert Brante has never acknowledged her as his own daughter, and your sister is a dreamer. She often has her head in the clouds and can act recklessly at times. Okay, that's actually really cool. Yeah, I like her personally. I like her poetry that she actually wrote. I thought the rhyming was very nice. And yeah, I guess we'll continue onward. Yeah, so my willpower is now actually pretty bad. Yeah, it's actually 5 now. But maybe I can get it back. You know, maybe I can do something in the future that will give me a little bit more willpower, so I have the option in future to, you know, make a certain choice that may be something that we really want to do. And we are now 4 years old, and I actually think I'm getting a bit carried away because I'm extremely, very much enjoying this game, and I kind of want to play, you know what, I want to play more. Yeah, I can't do that right now though, but I will say, if you want to check this out, there is a link in the description. Highly recommend it if you're a fan of narrative RPGs. And if you want to see more from me, then by all means, let me know down in the comments. You know, like the video, all that stuff. You know, it all tells me that you want to see more of this. And otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.